Once upon a time, the sun never set on the British Empire. They controlled a quarter of the Earth's landmass and ruled over nearly a quarter of the global population. London was, the center of global finance. British factories powered the world. The crown looted trillions from colonies, from India to Nigeria, Egypt to Australia. But fast forward to 2025, the empire that once ruled the seas is now, struggling to feed its own people. The UK, the very symbol of wealth and power, now has over 3 million people relying on food banks. What went wrong? Was it karma for centuries of colonial exploitation, or just decades of political mismanagement? Welcome to Talk Maniac. In today's video, we're diving deep into the rise and spectacular fall of Great Britain. Let's begin. The 19th century was the golden age of Britain. Fueled by the Industrial Revolution and funded by colonial wealth, Britain became the richest and most powerful country on Earth. It wasn't just gold or spices. The British extracted an estimated $45 trillion in resources from South Asia alone. India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and African colonies became the empire's economic engine. They built railways, ports, and infrastructure, not for the natives, but for better extraction. By 1900, London was the banking hub of the world, but the seeds of collapse had already been planted. World War I drained British resources, but it was World War II that truly broke the empire. By 1945, Britain had suffered an inflation-adjusted loss of $2 trillion. Cities were bombed, industries ruined, and debt skyrocketed. Meanwhile, independence movements were rising in India, Malaysia, Egypt, and more. Between 1947 and the 1960s, one colony after another slipped away. The empire was crumbling, quietly but steadily. But Britain still had its banks, and looted gold, and the illusion of power. Then came 2008. The global financial crisis, sparked by reckless lending in the United States, brought down giants like Lehman Brothers. But the aftershocks were worse in the UK than in America. British banks like Royal Bank of Scotland and Lloyds collapsed. The UK economy shrank by nearly 5% in 2009. Unemployment soared. Over 1 million people lost their jobs. House prices collapsed. Thousands lost homes. And to bail out the banks, the UK government borrowed heavily, doubling the debt-to-GDP ratio from 35% to 70% in just 2 years. The age of austerity began, and with it, cuts to healthcare, education, and social programs. The rich stayed rich, but the poor began to feel the cracks. If the 2008 crisis was a disaster, Brexit was a choice. On June 23, 2016, just about 51.9% of voters decided Britain should leave the European Union. It was, honestly, a political earthquake. In the years that followed, the UK lost frictionless trade with Europe, its biggest market. The pound collapsed by 15%, exports dropped by 40%, food prices went up, foreign investment dried up, and international firms, like HSBC and Barclays, moved their headquarters to Europe. A labor shortage ended up paralyzing sectors like agriculture, transport, and healthcare. By 2021, Britain had too few truck drivers to deliver fuel. Grocery shelves went empty. Brexit wasn't just politics, it was economics. And the UK paid the price. Between 2016 and 2025, 6 different prime ministers took office. Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, and others. Each came with new plans, new promises, and more confusion. Political instability paralyzed decision-making. Budgets changed, cabinets shuffled, investments stalled. Meanwhile, scandals rocked Parliament. From tax fraud to corruption to parties during COVID lockdowns, public trust collapsed. Britain wasn't just economically unstable, it was politically lost. Today, the UK is among the most unequal societies in the G7. The top 1% owns over 20% of national wealth, while more than 10 million people live below the poverty line. 1 in 4 children doesn't get enough to eat, and over 3.5 million people rely on food banks, in what used to be one of the richest nations on Earth. The NHS, once Britain's pride, is crumbling. There are just not enough doctors or nurses. Strikes, they're common now. Waiting times are months long, even for emergencies. Meanwhile, the education system is surviving only because of foreign teachers, but even they are leaving thanks to poor pay and tough working conditions. Talented students are migrating abroad, the brain drain is real, and honestly, it's dangerous. Even the British royal family, once untouchable, is facing cuts. King Charles's official royal train is being discontinued. Budget pressure is forcing Parliament to question the royal family's spending, and ironically, the king still wears the Kohinoor diamond taken from India, a symbol of a looted empire that now faces financial strain. The UK has become the worst-performing economy in the G7. GDP growth is stagnant, somewhere between 0.3 and 0.6%. Food prices are up 15%. Energy poverty affects millions. Foreign investments are down. Public trust is, well, near zero. And in 2025 alone, 16,000 millionaires are expected to leave Britain, seeking better futures in Europe or Asia. A century ago, people dreamed of moving to London. Now even the British are leaving. The fall of Britain isn't just about economy or politics, it's about how history catches up. Colonialism, exploitation, unchecked capitalism, arrogance, and poor leadership all contributed. Is it karma? Is it decline by design? Or is it simply the fate of all empires? One thing is certain, if a country once this powerful can fall, so can any other. Thank you for watching Talk Maniac. See you in the next video. Tell us in the comments, which country's story should we tell next? Until then, stay informed, stay curious.